Every morning, billions of us reach for our coffee. But what if I told you, your $4 cup pays for a global $200 billion web of secrets, struggles, and miracles hidden behind every single sip? Every morning, millions of us perform a simple ritual. We reach for a cup of coffee. It is a small act. It feels personal and familiar. Yet this simple, warm cup in your hands is the final destination of an incredible journey. It is the endpoint of a global machine, a complex network of people, technology, and capital. This machine moves about $200 billion around the world each year. Your $4 latte is a tiny, yet essential gear in this colossal system. The journey from a distant mountainside to your local cafe is far more complex and surprising than most of us ever imagine. Let's start with that number. $200 billion. It represents the combined value of every transaction, from a farmer selling a few kilograms of raw cherries to a multinational corporation trading tons of roasted beans. This vast economic river flows through dozens of countries and touches millions of lives. The sheer scale of it is staggering. It connects a farmer in a remote village in Ethiopia to a barista in a bustling Tokyo high-rise. Each sip you take is a vote, a contribution, a quiet participation in this global economic dance. The story of your coffee does not begin in a trendy cafe with polished wood and the hiss of an espresso machine. It begins in the soil, as a small green seed. It starts in a place often called the Bean Belt, a band of tropical countries encircling the equator. Here, the conditions are just right. The altitude is high, the rainfall is plentiful, and the sun is warm but not scorching. In these specific climates, the coffea plant thrives, producing the cherries that hold the precious beans. This agricultural reality is the foundation of the entire industry, a fragile starting point for a product that will travel thousands of miles. So, as you lift your cup, picture this sprawling, interconnected world. It is a world of incredible contrasts. The first human touch in your coffee's life belongs to the farmer and the picker. Most of the world's coffee is grown on small family farms, often just a few acres passed down through generations. Workers walk the steep, terraced hillsides, their eyes scanning the branches for the perfect ruby-red cherry. Picking coffee is slow, meticulous work often done entirely by hand. A single picker can harvest about 100 to 200 pounds of coffee cherries a day, which will only yield 20 to 40 pounds of beans. Once the cherries are picked, the race against time begins. The fruit must be processed quickly to prevent spoilage. One common method is the wash process, where machines pulp the fruit away, and the beans are fermented in water tanks to remove the sticky mucilage layer. Another is the natural or dry process. Whole cherries are spread out on large patios or raised beds to dry in the sun. Workers rake and tend the drying cherries, and a sudden rainstorm or uneven drying can ruin an entire harvest. After processing and drying, the beans, now in their parchment layer, are ready for milling. Huge machines rumble to life, hulling the parchment off to reveal the green coffee bean inside. The beans are then graded and sorted. Machines use vibrating screens to separate them by size and density. Optical sorters use cameras and puffs of air to eject defective beans. In many places, this process is still finished by hand. Teams of workers, mostly women, sit at long tables picking out any discolored or damaged beans. Finally, the sorted green beans are packed into large burlap or jute sacks, each weighing between 60 and 70 kilograms. These sacks are stamped with information about their country of origin and sometimes the specific farm or cooperative. A truck arrives, often struggling over rough, unpaved roads to transport the sacks from the remote farm or mill. At this point, the farmer's direct connection to their crop often ends. They are paid a price, a tiny fraction of the final retail cost. Their beans begin the next leg of their long, anonymous journey. The story is one of people, of economics, and of the earth itself. Understanding this journey changes how we see our daily cup. It is no longer just a beverage, it is a story of the modern world, contained within a single ceramic mug. It holds the back-breaking labor of a field worker and the precise calculations of a commodities trader. It contains the ancient wisdom of farmers who have cultivated this crop for generations and the cutting-edge technology of automated roasting plants. The story is one of people, of economics, and of the earth itself. From here the journey changes scale. Next stop, the port. At the port, the burlap sacks of green coffee are consolidated. They sit in vast cavernous warehouses, waiting to be loaded onto massive container ships. This is where the scale of global trade becomes truly visible. Your coffee is no longer from a single farm, it is now a commodity. Sacks from hundreds, sometimes thousands of different small farms are mixed into a single lot. A broker or an exporter, the powerful middleman who negotiates the sale to an importer or a large roasting company thousands of miles away. The price is often determined by the volatile commodities market in New York or London, far from the farmers who grew the crop. The journey across the ocean is slow and perilous. Sacks are loaded into 20-foot steel shipping containers, lifted by giant cranes, and stacked like building blocks onto a vessel. The trip can take weeks, even months. Throughout this voyage, the unroasted beans are vulnerable. They are susceptible to moisture, which can cause mold, and they can absorb taints from other cargo in the container. A shipment of spices or chemicals stored improperly nearby could ruin an entire container of high-quality coffee. The cost of global transit, that is fuel, labor, insurance, adds significant expense. When the ship finally docks in a consuming country, like the United States, Germany, or Japan, another complex process begins. Customs officials inspect the paperwork and inspect the cargo. A bureaucratic step that can add delays and costs. Containers are unloaded and trucked to the warehouses of importers or large-scale roasters. Here, the green beans might be stored for months. Coffee importers buy large quantities during harvest and store it, ensuring roasters have a steady supply of green coffee beans. From the importer's warehouse, the green coffee beans travel to their next great transformation. Roasting is where the magic and the science truly happens. It is a process of controlled heating that turns dense, grassy-smelling green beans into the brown, aromatic, brittle beans we recognize. A master roaster is like an alchemist. Heat, airflow, time, unlocking the hundreds of aromatic compounds locked inside the bean. Just a few seconds too long or a few degrees too hot can be the difference between a beautifully balanced coffee and a batch of bitter burnt beans. Roasting is a craft of 1,000 small decisions. Roasting happens at every scale. A small-town roaster, a single small batch machine in the back of their shop, carefully crafting unique profiles for specific beans. Then, the industrial giants, massive roasting plants running 24 hours a day. Huge automated machines roast thousands of pounds in a single batch. The roasted beans are whisked away on conveyor belts and ground, packaged and vacuum sealed by a dizzying array of robotic arms and high-speed machinery, ready to be shipped to supermarkets across the country. Once roasted, the beans are packaged and sent to their final retail destinations: a grocery store shelf, an online subscription box, and, most iconically, a local cafe. In the cafe, the final artist in the chain takes over, the barista, armed with a grinder, a tamper, and a multi-thousand-dollar espresso machine. The barista's job is to do justice to the entire journey that came before. They must grind the beans to the perfect consistency, dose and tamp with precision, and extract the coffee under the right pressure and temperature. It is the last, crucial step in translating all that potential flavor into the cup. Tomorrow morning, as you sip your coffee, think about the journey in your cup. Now, I want your view. Do you think your daily cup should pay farmers more? Share your thoughts below.